Going to get started. So if you feel like you need a chair, we're going to be doing some standing stuff. So have a chair handy. Okay, or walls are great. Or just have your chair. Yeah. Okay. So so you can either sit or lie down for our centering. So sit or lie down, up to you. Sit or lie down. So this week we're going to, today we're going to do some movement stuff and some things kind of continue on from last week. And then next week is our Christmas yoga. Okay, so we're doing the 12 days of Christmas or 12 days of holidays, however you want to take it. It does not matter to me. And we do a movement. And if you've done this with me before, it's so much fun. And I invite you to wear your Christmas stuff. So your Christmas, like a Santa Claus hat if you want to, reindeer ears if you want to, a Christmas sweater if you want to, whatever. Okay, so just fancy it up if you choose to. You don't have to. Okay, up to you.
No, it could be fun.
It can be fun. If you have any bells or shaky bells, you can bring those too, because that's a lot of fun when we're doing some of the movements. Okay, we can make it fun. Okay, so let's get started. So just relax into wherever you're relaxing into your chair, into the ground. Close your eyes. And just notice how you're positioned either into the chair or on the ground. Those parts of the body that are touching anything. And just begin to check in with yourself. Just noticing what there is to notice. And at first you might not notice anything, but then as you start to stay here for a little bit, you might begin to notice either the chair underneath you, that support, or the ground, or your mat, or both. Feeling of your clothes on your body, the air around you, the way that you're breathing. And as you draw your awarenesses inwards, as you come to your center wherever you choose it to be. So where you feel that you're radiating energy, it could be your stomach, it could be your heart space, it could be the tip of your nose. Doesn't matter. And as you move towards that energy center, you might be able to start to connect to really how you're feeling inside and bringing up some of those sensations that are coming and going. And when you notice something, acknowledge it. You don't have to fight it off. You don't have to ignore it. Just acknowledge. And most of the time, it'll just go away. And then you can move on to something else. Okay, let's focus on the breath just a little bit more. And just feel it coming in and out of the body, just in whatever way it comes in and out of the body. Don't try to change it. Just notice. Just notice how you're breathing in, how you're breathing out. And then let's bring a little bit of movement into the body. So as you're breathing in, just start to move your head maybe up or just tilt the chin upwards. And then as you're exhaling, just tilt the chin downwards. You don't have to force it. So we're just centering ourselves, noticing how we're feeling and how we're breathing, and starting to move the head just up and down, just moving with our breath, just noticing that movement. It's going to feel different if you're on the chair or if you're on the ground. It is what it is. You don't have to lift it up so high, but you can explore how your movement is in your neck today without forcing it. And then let's do that one more time. Just tilting the chin up and tilting it back down again on your exhale. And then bring the head back to your center, and then we'll just move the head to the side. So you're looking over one shoulder, bringing it back, and then looking over the other shoulder. And again, don't force it. Go slow. Just gently moving the head side to side. And as you're doing this, notice what your shoulders are doing. Are they starting to creep up or are they relaxed down? And maybe just noticing anything else that's maybe you're holding on or gripping somewhere. It might be in the lower body, it might be in your jaw, it might be somewhere else. If you are gripping or holding on to something, see if you can just soften and relax. Okay, let's do one more of those side to side. So each shoulder. And then bring your head back to neutral and just take a moment. So much is happening in this moment. Even when we're in stillness, so much is happening in your body. You just pay attention. Okay, let's bring those shoulders up towards the ears. Maybe they touch the ears, maybe they don't. Don't worry if they do or they don't. And then slide them back down. And then just bring them up, back up again. And exhale them back down again. And just feeling that movement in the arms, in the upper back, in the upper chest. Maybe somewhere else you might notice it. Just moving those shoulders up and down. You can go super slow and you don't have to force anything. And we'll just do this a couple more times. And then let's leave those shoulders down. Just relax them. Then we'll start wiggling the fingers around. Just wiggle them around. And then get into those wrists, do some circles, maybe both directions. And then start to move those arms. Maybe you keep circling the wrists, moving them all the way up above your head or behind your head or whatever. If you're on the ground, it's behind your head. And if you're on the chair, it's above your head. And just wiggling them around, moving them around, and then bringing them all the way back down again. Take your time. And all the way back down, and then we'll do that again. Wiggling the fingers, moving them all the way up. You can bend into the elbows, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Just noticing how that feels, and then bring yourself all the way back down again. Make sure you're breathing. And we'll do that one more time. And bring them all the way back down. Okay, so just relax the arms. Okay, and we're going to do a little side bend. So if you're on the ground, you're going to kind of do like a banana shape. Your arms can be behind your head again, or you can just go like this. If you're on the chair, you can hold on to the chair and just bend to the side. Just bending to the side. So if you're on the chair, try to push your feet into the ground, and your arms can be up if you choose to, or they can be down, entirely up to you. You know how your body's feeling. If you're on the chair, make sure that you're not falling off the chair. And then inhale, come all the way back up to center. And then we'll go in the other direction. We're just bending. Just bending, feeling that stretch along one side of the body. Don't worry how far you're going. Just breathe. Just notice. Good. And then inhale, bring yourself back. You can wiggle around a little bit. Okay. So if you're sitting on a chair, you're just going to lift up your right leg. If you're standing up, you can just lift up your right leg. If you're lying down, just lift up your right leg. And we're just going to do some ankle circles. So the foot does not need to be very high off the ground. If you want it to be, it can be. Up to you. You can bend into the knee as much as you need to. You could use your arms for support. Entirely up to you. So we're just getting into that ankle. So moving the ankle around in circles. One direction and the other direction. And just notice how much exertion you're putting into this. You might put a lot, you might not put very much, and it's totally fine. It's just how you're feeling today and how much you want to do. Okay, let's bring that leg down. You can give a little shake if you want to, and then we'll do the other side. So if you're on the chair, lift up your leg, and if you're on the ground, lift up your leg. If you're standing up, just lift up your leg. And again, knee can be bent. You can move some circles around. Just notice maybe on this side, the circles are maybe more circular, or maybe they're not as circular. Maybe they're more hexagonish or something else. You never know. Never know how those ankles are. And just make sure you're breathing and you're just noticing. Good. And then we're going to shake out that leg and then bring that leg down. Good. Okay, so we're going to make ourselves into a star. And it's the same thing if you're seated, if you're on the ground, if you're standing. We're just going to make ourselves into a star. So your legs are just stretched out and your arms are stretched out. So stretch out your legs a little bit. Yep, the legs. Yeah. You can do one at a time, or you can do both at a time. We're just going to stretch and spread the fingers. See if you can spread the toes. Don't force it. Just go as far as you can. And just notice and breathing. So we all have boundaries. We all have limitations that we set for ourselves and that our bodies set for ourselves. They might be subconscious limitations and boundaries. So when we do things like this, we can notice where our boundaries are. How far can we go before our body says, okay, that's enough. That's enough. I need to release it and relax. So bring those arms down, maybe bring the legs back together and just take a moment and just notice. We're going to do that one more time. So our boundaries are something that we can play around with as well too. Our boundaries is when we say no, I've had enough. Or yes, I'm open to more. Okay, so you decide and your body will decide. Okay, let's do that again. So we're just going to stretch into our star. And maybe you don't go as deep. Maybe you go deeper. Up to you. You just notice where your limitations and your boundaries are. Your legs can be wider. They could be closer together. Your arms might be down a little bit. You might be bending into the elbows a little bit. You might be reaching up a little bit higher, spreading out the fingers a little bit higher. Just notice how you're breathing in this way. Are you breathing? Are you holding your breath? Try to keep the breathing really calm. So work on having a little bit of the longer exhale. Just taking your time, really enjoying the breath moving through your body. And then when you've had enough, your body will tell you, oh yeah, I've had enough. And you release it. You release it. Yeah. And then bring those legs together. And then we can just give a little shake. Shakey, shake, shake, shake. Okay, so if you're on the chair, you can stay on the chair. If you're on the ground, you can roll up and come into table. If you need the knee pad, just use the knee pad. So if you're on the chair, you're just going to put your hands on your thighs, because we're going to do some cows and cats. So hands on the thighs if you're in the chair. If you're on the ground, you're on your hands and knees in table. And if you're standing, you can just do what I'm doing, like this. It's all the same. Okay, so we're going to do some cows and cats. So we're going to lower the belly, push the heart out and down, lift up the chin a little bit, and then tuck the tailbone under, arch the back, drop the head into our cat. And we're just going to keep doing this at our own pace. Just moving through the pelvis, moving through the spine. Go slow, okay? So then you know how far to go. Everyone's different. Everyone's feeling something different in their bodies. So when we go slow, we can notice, oh, I have to go a little slower in that area near my spine. Maybe just don't arch so much, or don't open up so much in through the pelvis when we go through our cow. So again, paying attention to how you're feeling, how you're breathing. We'll do maybe two or three more of these. You decide. Good. Okay. And then you're going to sit down. So if you're in a chair, you're already seated. If you're on the standing up, you're going to sit down. And if you're on your hands and knees, sit down any way you like. We're just going to do a little twist, and then we're going to do some standing up stuff. Okay, so your hands can be wherever they like. We're going to sit up nice and tall, and we're just going to do a little twist. Okay, so we're going to go over to the right side first. So your arms can be wherever they like, and we're just going to twist. You can bring your arms up if you feel like doing that, but we're just going to twist to the right. Relax the shoulders. Maybe your head goes a little bit more once you come into the twist. And maybe as you sit here, you can maybe move your eyes a little bit more without forcing it. And as you're sitting there, maybe your arms move a little bit more as you get comfortable. So don't force it. We're just doing a little bit at a time, coming into our twist. When you're in your full twist, you'll know you don't need to move anymore. You can just stay here and breathe. Okay, we'll take one more breath here. And then we'll slowly begin to untwist. Nice and slow, coming back through your center. Take a moment, and then we'll go the other direction. So we're going to take a big inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to twist, and we just go slow. So maybe just the torso twists first, and then maybe we move our arms. Maybe we start to move our head a little bit more, and maybe the knees a little bit more after that. Try to keep your shoulders soft. Make sure you're breathing. And remembering not to force it. Your body will tell you how far you need to go. Okay, and then we'll slowly come out of our twists. Slowly come out, slowly come out, slowly come out. Good. Okay, so we're just going to do a few hip circles, and then I'm going to stand up. So going just around and around, wherever you are, you can do this. And they can be small circles or big circles. You can change your seat if you need to. It's really interesting how we can go through different poses and everyone feels something a little bit different. For example, when we're doing this, some people might feel it in your hips. Some people might feel it in their torso or in their spine or in the sides of their body. Maybe even in the legs. Okay, let's go in the opposite direction. Keep breathing, keep moving, keep noticing. whatever there is to notice. For some people, this is going to feel so soothing into their bodies. Other people are going to feel, I don't really like it. I'm just doing it because Marlene's telling me to do it. That goes for pretty much everything. Okay, let's do one more. Yeah, and then just sit up tall for a moment. You might feel some tinglies happening. You might feel something else. Take a few breaths, and then you're going to stand up. So see if you can stand up without using your hands, if possible. If possible. If you have to use your hands, use your hands. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Just try. Yeah. The safe way. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It does not matter. As long as you can get up. Okay. So those are you who are using a chair, make sure the chair is available for you. So you might want to place it in front of you or have a wall close by. Okay, just for balancing. Okay. Now, last week we were playing around with some balancing things, and we're going to continue that, but we're going to kind of move a little bit more in and out of things and just play with our balance a little bit more. Okay. 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 So let's just start by standing on 2 feet. Sometimes that's even tricky. So just standing up nice and tall, reaching your arms down. You can close your eyes if you want to. That will play around with your balance, but you don't have to close your eyes, but they will challenge you. So just push down through both feet equally. And just kind of relax your arms a little bit more and relax your breath. Just feeling the ground underneath your body. Okay, so you can open your eyes for this next one, or you can close your eyes and play again with balance, or you can close your eyes when you want to. And we're just going to shift our weight from leg to leg. Just shift from leg to leg. You're going to keep both feet on the ground though, but the weight is being transferred. You should feel that just a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to just move that a little bit more so that maybe the foot just comes up a little bit. You can bend into your knees a little bit more too and just lift up the one foot, bring it down. If you're using a chair, you can always have the chair, hold on to the chair with one finger or 2 fingers or both hands or whatever. You're just putting the foot down, lifting the foot up, putting the foot down, lifting it up. And it really helps to focus on something that's in front of you. So we're focusing in front, but we're really paying attention to what's happening in our feet and our legs. Okay, and we're going slow. And we're relaxing our jaw. And we're not trying to bite our tongue off. Breathe. And it's not that serious, so you're allowed to smile a little bit. And then maybe we can just pause here for a moment with one foot up a little tiny bit. Maybe the toe just touches. Maybe you have to hang on. That's totally fine. And then we move over to the other side. And then we lift up that foot a little bit. And we hold it there. And then we go back to the other side. And notice if you're starting to shrink down and gravity's pushing you down, try to lift up a little bit more. You still can bend your knees though. Okay. And we're just taking a moment just to pause on one foot. And then pause on the other foot. Make sure you're breathing, just noticing how this is feeling. Because sometimes we get a little anxious that we're going to fall. So just feel confident that you have everything that you need here to stay upright. Do this one more time on each foot. Okay, And then let's bring our feet down for a moment, and then we're going to go into tree pose. Okay, actually, before we do that, we're just going to play around with our fingers for a few moments. Okay, so let's move our hands into fists. Make them really, really tight, but we're going to go like this with our mouth. We're going to squeeze the hand. Make funny faces. Stick out our tongues. And then bring your tongue back in your mouth and then open up your hands. Wiggle your fingers around. Okay, we're going to do that one more time. Squeeze your hands really, really tight. This time we're going to reach our arms up as high as we can. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Open up your mouth as wide as you can. And then close your mouth and smile with your lips closed. Good. And relax your jaw. And then bring your arms down and open up your fingers. Ooh, good. Wiggle your fingers around. Okay, shake them out. Okay, now you can either hold on to the chair or bring your hands to the heart. Okay, up to you. We're going to shift the weight into your right foot. And we're going to bring up the right foot. So we might start here, or we might start the foot on top of the foot. Okay, so you decide where you're going to start. And then once you settle in, maybe you're able to creep that foot up a little bit. Maybe not, and that's okay too. Your foot might stay here, or it might creep over here, or maybe right here. And then just keep coming up and down, or maybe it's here, and then you just bring it up and down the inside of your shin. But you don't have to keep moving it. Once you find a place that you feel comfortable and you're standing up nice and tall and you're breathing, and don't feel, you can still hold on to something if you need to go near a wall or use your chair. And if the foot keeps coming down, just to make certain that the ground is there, that's okay. And just breathe. Okay. And then let's bring that foot down and let's just shake. Shake everything out. And then we'll do the other side. Okay, so let's just stay here for a moment. Then bring our hands to the heart or your hands to the chair. Shift the weight into your left foot and then pick up that right foot. And again, maybe we stay here first until we focus and we find our balance. And then maybe we creep the leg up a little bit higher, if that suits you. But again, play with it. Notice where you feel comfortable and confident that you're going to be able to stay in this position and that you're going to breathe and that you're all good. And wibble wobble, it's okay if you wibble wobble. Just know that your foot can drop down anytime that you want. You can play with that a little bit, just noticing that it's there and you can bring the foot down. Okay, and then let's bring that foot down. Okay, and let's shake. Shake, 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 shake. Okay, so we're going to bring ourselves into a high lunge. Okay, so I'm going to face this way. So you're going to bring your right foot forwards and your left leg is going to be back. Okay, you can decide the distance. It's entirely up to you. If you want to hold on to your chair, hold on to the chair or a wall. You're going to bend into that right knee and you're going to be up onto those toes. Okay, so we're just going to hold it like this for a moment. And if you need to come back, you come back. In fact, let's do that a few times. We're here, and then we take a step forwards. And then we bring that foot back, bend into that front knee, and then bring it back. So it's just shifting the weight. And then once you do this a few times, you're going to feel a little bit more confidence, and maybe the leg can go back a little bit further. And you find balance. And then you take another step forwards. And then you go back. And you can play around with the distance. And then maybe that feels really good and you're feeling, okay, I can do that. And so maybe you're still holding onto the chair, but maybe your arms might want to go up. And maybe they stay up as you do this. Maybe they don't. Maybe they come down to the heart. And then they come back up when you're here or when you're here. So play around with that for a few moments. They can stay up here, they can come down to the heart, they can rest down here. We'll just do that a couple more times on this leg because I know it's starting to fatigue. You can bring the arms up or not. Let's this be our last time. And we will stop. And just bring your arms down. You can shake if you want to. Shake, shake, shake. And then we'll do the other side. Okay, so we're gonna bring that left foot forwards. And then the right leg's gonna go back. Okay, so again, it doesn't have to be very far. You can figure out where it goes. Focus in front of you. Bend into that front knee. Okay, your arms can be here, or maybe you want to bring your hands to your heart or up or hold on to your chair, whatever. Entirely up to you. And we're just going to go back and forth. And feel free, we don't have to go fast. We can stay here. We can be here. And we can just stay. We don't have to move. But it's also fun to play with our balance because every time we move that leg forward and back, we're playing with the balance. And then we can bring the arms up or down, whatever you want. And you can try different things. Remember, we can pause here for a moment. You don't have to go super fast. It's about making sure that you're planting your feet so that you find your balance. Okay, so let's maybe do one or two more of those because I know this is starting to fatigue. Make sure you're breathing. And then when you've had enough, then we'll stand in mountain pose and you can shake it out again. Shake, shake, shake. Wiggle around. And then just take a moment. Maybe just stand in mountain pose for a moment and just close your eyes and just notice how you're feeling. Because we're going to add on to this. Let's take a breath and breathe. Okay. So we're going to keep the right leg forwards. We're going to bring our hands through the heart. Again, you don't have to keep your hands this way. I'm just suggesting this. So you use your discretion, okay? Okay, the left leg's going to go back into a high lunge. So again, you adjust yourself to where you want to be here. Okay. And then we're going to pivot the toes so they point to the side of the mat into warrior two. We're just going to keep, or we're not going to do our arms. We're just going to keep our arms here. Okay. So the front toes, those right toes are facing the short part of the mat. Back toes are facing the long part of your mat. Okay. And you're bending into that front knee. Okay. And then we're going to pivot back into the high lunge. We're going to go slow here and pivot back again. And then pivot back to that high lunge. And pivot back. And then pivot back to that high lunge. Okay, so you can keep your hands at your heart if you want to, or now we can use the arms. So your arms would be up here in your high lunge. And then we'll go into warrior two. And the arms are going to reach out front and back. That's right. And you're looking over that right hand. Good. And then the arms will come back up as you pivot that back foot up onto the toes. And we're back here. We'll do that 2 more times. Just go at your own pace. And feel very welcome to use the chair if you need more balance. Okay, and then come back up. Just make sure how your feet are planted. And then back to warrior two. And then last time, back to your high lunge. And back to your warrior two. Good. And then back to your high lunge. And bring the hands to the heart. And we'll take a step forwards. And again, you can shake if you need to shake. You can just relax if you need to relax. Take a breath. Notice, notice, notice. Okay. We will do the other side now. Okay, so let's bring our hands again towards our heart. Keep the left leg forwards, and then the right leg is going to go back. So again, adjust it where it needs to go. You're going to try to keep up onto your back toes. If you need to plant your foot down, that's totally fine. Okay, I should have said that before, but okay, so we're here. Now we're going to pivot that back foot so the toes face the long part of the mat. Okay. If you want to add your arms already to this, totally great. You can. Okay. Then we're going to come back into that high lunge. If you want to add their arms are up here, or you can keep your hands at your heart. And then warrior two, arms into your T. And you're bending into that front knee. Nice strong legs. And then back into your high lunge. We go slow so we can feel and notice how our body is. And then we go back into our warrior two. Okay, and again, high lunge. And warrior two. Left arm is facing the front part of your mat, and your right arm is facing towards the back part of your mat. Good. And then again, high lunge. And warrior two. Make sure you're breathing. One more time. Inhale your high lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Good. And then we'll come back to our high lunge. Bring our hands to the heart. And we'll take a step forwards. And again, you can shake it out, or you can just stand in mountain pose and just take a moment to notice. Good. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Okay. You think we can put that all together? I think. We'll try. We'll try. Okay. So let's inhale the arms all the way up. And exhale, hands towards the heart. I'm going to put the weight into our right foot, and we're going to come into tree again. That's how we're going to start in our tree. So whatever your tree looks like, just stand tall and focus. Beautiful balance. And breathe. Good. Okay, now we're going to try to take that left leg and we're going to try to reach it back into that high lunge. Very good. Okay, and then we'll bring those arms up. And then we'll move into our warrior two. Excellent. Yeah, nice strong legs. Want to make sure that this front leg is not caving in. So the knee is not caving in. We want to make sure that there's a little external rotation. So the knee is over top of the ankle and then kind of directed to those three middle toes. Okay. Okay, let's go back into our high lunge. Pivot the back foot. Bring the hands to the heart. Can we come back into that tree? Excellent. Good. And then let's bring that foot back down and shake it out if you need to. Wiggle around if you need to, or just stand. Okay, let's do the other side. Okay, inhale those arms all the way back up. Hands to the heart. Shift the weight into your left foot. And we're going to come into tree. So any kind of tree that you like. Your toes can be on the ground. It can be up. They can be up. They can be here. Whatever kind of tree that you want to do today. Just focus and breathe. Try to stand up as tall as you can. And notice. Your body doesn't lie. Your body will tell you what's going on. Gotta listen. Okay, and then let's take that right foot and bring it back behind us, up onto the toes, if you can, or you can bring that heel down. Go slow. Good. Now we're in our high lunge and we can bring those arms up. This challenges us when we bring our arms up. Good. And now we're going to pivot that back foot and we'll come into our warrior two. Good. Lovely warrior twos. Warrior two is a very strong pose. Thinking sword and, like Zorro. Yeah, but that's not where this came from. This came from India. Zorro was not in India. I don't know exactly where he was, but anyway. Okay, let's pivot again into that high lunge. Arms come up. Go slow. Good. And then hands to the heart and return to our tree. So go slow. Find your balance. Lovely. Very good. And breathe and notice. And then we'll bring that foot down. Good. And then do a little shake if you need to. Okay. And then we'll do a forward bend. You can use the chair for this if you want to. So we're just going to bring the arms up and we're going to forward bend all the way down. So you can place your hands down and just hang them. You can bring them to the chair if you want to. You bend into the knees, let your head hang. You can hold on to your elbows if you like. We'll just take a few moments just to go down here. If you're feeling lightheaded or dizzy, slowly come back up. Just take a few more breaths here. And then we'll bring ourselves all the way up. Big stretch. Big stretch. And then circle your arms around behind you. Clasp your hands behind. Push down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Push your heart out. And then just gently lift up your chin. Don't throw your head back. Your neck has very, very delicate muscles and ligaments. And we just don't want to set them off because the neck, I mean, that poor neck, it has to hold up this huge, gigantic head. Okay, and then let's relax and then shake it out. Okay, so we're going to add on to that little sequence a little tiny bit. And then we'll chill. Okay, okay, so let's take a breath there. And we'll inhale the arms all the way up. Big breath in, exhale, hands to the heart. Shift your weight into your right foot and come into your tree. Again, every time we come into the tree, it's going to be different. It's going to feel different. You might notice something new. Breathe. Okay, and then we'll reach that leg back into our high lunge. So up on the toes, or you can bring your foot down at 45 degrees. Up to you, just depending on where your balance is today. Okay, and let's bring those arms up. This just changes it when those arms up. Okay, and then we'll pivot into warrior two. Find your warrior two. Your body's pretty much in between your legs, so we're not reaching forwards. Good. Okay, there's going to be a little change. We're going to face the clock wall. Okay, so we're going to pivot that front foot. So we're facing the clock wall into a star. We've done star before. We're just facing that wall, reaching the arms up. So we're 5-pointed star. Good. Over here. Okay, and then we're going to come right back into our warrior two, facing the front. Good. And then a high lunge. So pivot the back foot, arms come up. Good. Then you're going to bring the hands back to your heart, step forwards, coming back into that tree. I find that to be the tricky part. Bringing that leg from the back to the tree. Yeah. Breathe. Good. And then standing back into your magic pose. Excellent. Okay, let's do the other side. Inhale those arms all the way up. And hands to the heart. Shift the weight into your left foot. Pick up your right foot. Come back into your tree. Your balance. Breathe. Good balance today. Okay, and then let's reach that right leg back behind you. Good. Find your balance in your high lunge and then reach those arms up. Focus, breathe, notice. Excellent. Okay, and then we'll come into our warrior two. Pivot that back foot. And we come into our warrior two. Good. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Notice. Good. Okay, and then we're going to face that wall, the right wall, and we're going to come into our star. That's a wide pointed star. Moving down through both feet equally, stretching out those fingers, breathing. Okay, next breath, come back to your warrior two towards the front of the room. Bending into that front knee. Good, just float those arms. Those arms are getting so much stronger. This is awesome. Excellent. Okay, now pivot into your high lunge. Back foot pivots, high lunge. Good. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Good. Then bring your hands towards your heart. And we're going to take a step forwards into our tree. Go slow, find your tree. Good. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Excellent. Okay, and then bring yourself back to your mountain pose. Take a moment, shake if you need to. Shake, 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 shake. Okay, so we're going to do a forward bend. For those who are using the chair that want to use the chair, we're going to go forward bend into a downward dog. So use the chair if you need to. Okay, so inhale those arms up and forward fold down. So bend into your knees. That will help to support your back if you're having any back issues. I always like to have a knees bent just to create some softness in my spine and throughout my whole body. You can just let the hands hang. You can hold on to your elbows. You can bring your hands onto your knees, onto the chair, whatever suits you the best. Okay, and then inhale, bend into your knees to bring yourself up. Your head always comes up last, so you don't get too dizzy. You come up, and then we're going to come into a downward dog. Okay, so inhale those arms up. So if you're using the chair, use the seat or the back of the chair. Arms reach up, and then forward bend all the way down. You're going to reach down to the ground if you're on using the ground, and then you're going to step back into downward dog. If you're using a chair, you can use the chair if you want to. You can bring your hands to the back of the chair and just walk your hands back, or place your hands on the seat and walk your hands back, your legs back. So up to you. Yeah, just like that. Bend into your knees. The knees do not need to be straight. So here, you want to use the chair. Use the chair. Here. And just walk your feet back. There you go. Bend into your knees. Yeah. And then reach those hips back. Yeah. Breathe. And feel free to move in this position. You don't have to be still. You can wiggle around and just explore it. This is kind of a love-hate relationship with this pose for most people. Okay, and then when you've had enough of that, you can walk back into a forward bend, or if you're on the ground, you can bring down your knees. And if you're on a chair, you can sit down into the chair when you're ready. If you're on the ground, you can sit down onto the ground. Either sit in your chair, sit on the ground, whatever works better for you. Oh. Yeah. Okay, so find yourself in any position. So we're now back on the ground. Okay, so now nice and tall. Okay. Any way you want to sit, doesn't matter. So however you're seated, As long as you feel yourself rooting down and you feel your spine is tall, your shoulders are down, it's all good. Just relax your arms. Reach the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Close your eyes and just do a little check-in with yourself again. You might feel different than you did when you first walked in this room. It might be very, very subtle. You might feel more calm. Maybe you feel energized. Maybe you feel a lot of sensations through your body. Maybe you feel like you just want to go home and curl up in your bed. That's fine too. Everyone's different. Everyone feels something different. And just take a few moments just to check in. This is something that we should be doing regularly, checking in with ourselves, asking ourselves, how are we feeling? You know, every time we meet somebody, we go, oh, how are you? And our automatic answer is fine. I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm great. Most of the time it's a lie. That's okay. It can be a lie. That's what we project to other people. But when we're asking ourselves, be truthful. How are you feeling? Anything goes. One side of the body might feel great. The other side of the body might feel crappy. And so that's totally fine. We just need to notice these things. And then we're going to finish with a twist. So if you're on the ground, lie down and with your knees bent. If you're on the chair, of course, your knees are bent because you're on the chair. And we're going to come again into another twist. So if you're on the ground, lie down. Knees bent. Yes. If you're on the chair, your knees are already bent. Sitting up nice and tall. Okay, so if you're on the chair, you can just move your torso. And we're just going to go towards the right. If you're on the ground, your knees are just going to fall towards the right. Yeah. And we're just going to try just to stay as upright as possible if you're sitting on a chair and just bring the arms down. We pretty much did this when we were already seated. And as you settle into this twist, you might decide you can go deeper, but you don't have to force it. That goes for the same as the people who are on the ground. You might settle a little bit deeper into your mats. But don't force it. Just go where you can go. You can also explore. It's totally fine to be a scientist and explore your body and what it can do. And we'll take maybe 1 or 2 more breaths on this side. And then we'll come out of the pose. Take a moment, and then we'll go in the other direction. And again, one side is going to be easier than the other side. It always is. So just come into the twist gently. And then as we stay here, you might find you have some room or some space to twist a little bit more without forcing it. The body will tell you. And you can just try moving a little bit more and just see what happens. If there's resistance, there's resistance. We don't need to push past that. Those are your boundaries. You breathe and notice. And we'll take a breath or 2 more here. And then you can slowly bring yourself back to center. If you're on the floor, you can just come into your savasana, stretch out your legs. You can keep your knees bent if you want to. You can give yourself a little hug if you want to. If you're sitting in a chair, you can give yourself a hug if you want to. Just wrap your arms around. You can bow down and just do it like a forward bend in your chair. Whatever you feel like your body wants right now, you can do that. And then when you're ready to settle and relax, Either lean back into your chair and just relax, or just relax on the ground. So wherever you are is where you're meant to be. Just close your eyes, relax, breathe. This is something that we don't give ourselves the time to really, really relax and rest. The body needs it, the mind needs it. We're so busy in our day, regardless if we're working or not. We're always working, we're always busy. Doing whatever you do, you're still making lists, you're still up and doing stuff. And the body just needs to rest. And sleeping, yes, that's good too. But throughout the day, you do need to give yourselves a moment here, a moment there. It doesn't have to be long, but just the undoing, just the being of not doing anything, just being with your breath, being with yourself. And let's peacefully bring our awareness back to this present moment. Allow the breath to deepen. You can bring a little bit of movement back into your body, maybe just gently moving your head, gently moving your fingers, your feet, your whole body. Just reawakening. Give yourself a stretch if you feel like you want to give yourself a stretch. I think that you can never stretch too much because our spine is always compressing with gravity. So it likes to be stretched. And then you can, if you're sitting in a chair, just sit up nice and tall. And if you're on the ground, you can just roll over and move yourself into any comfortable seat. So sitting up nice and tall, you can bring your hands in any connective way to your body. So hands to hands, hands to knees, hands to heart, whatever you choose. And just sit up tall and just take a few moments. Just again, checking in. How are you feeling? What are you noticing? And then take some reflection. What brought you into this practice today? Whatever it may have been, besides someone pulling you here. But besides that, why are you here? And then how was the practice for you? What did you notice in the practice? Your responses, the way your body moved, what your mind was doing, if your mind kept wandering, if you were staying present with yourself. Any sensations that might have surprised you or that you knew were coming, or maybe you thought they were going to arrive and then you never did. It's whatever you felt, whatever you noticed. Let's give ourselves, take a big breath in through the nose and sigh out through your mouth. Do that again. Inhale. Exhale. Next one, bring the arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Exhale. And bow your head towards your hands. And give yourself some gratitude. Feeling grateful. Feeling grateful for yourself. Feeling grateful for taking the time for your practice and for doing something really beneficial for yourself, for your body, for your mind, for your emotional body, and for your spiritual body. And then giving thanks and giving gratitude to yourself again for sharing your energy with each one of us today. And we will finish with 3 ohms. Take a breath in through the nose. Sigh it out. Breathe in 3 ohms. Namaste. Yeah, see, thank you. That was beautiful oming, by the way. And I just wanted to say about the oming that it's a sound that's already in our bodies. Okay. It's also in the solar system. It's there. NASA has detected it. Doctors know it. Every time you get your heart rate monitor on there, they can hear it. Okay. You should actually ask to hear it. Anyway, I wanted to say about that oming, it's good for your cardiovascular system. Okay, because you're breathing, you're taking a big breath in and you're letting it out, and it's a vocal sound. So it's a vibration. So it's great for your cardio. Okay, it's great for your heart. It's great for your lungs. It's great for your nervous system because it decompresses you. Okay, and it's a sound that you heard in the womb. It was in you. Okay, so it's very, very maternal. It's very in there. Okay, it's like Mother Earth singing to you. So it's absolutely beautiful. Thank you. You're welcome. So